Dysfunctional vet. What I have here is I have a tree that's uprooted. Now it's probably difficult to see. I'm going to zoom in on it here. See that right there? That metal with the dirt on it? That is a 24-inch framing square. The root ball there is a little better than 30 inches across from one side to the other. In the video I did on advanced rope techniques where I tie onto a rope using a taut line hitch, I talked about the fact that if a root ball comes up and you're cutting a tree, you can't get away from it. This tree at best is 8 inches down there at the base. It comes up here. Let me stick my hand on it. Let me back off so you can see. It's not a big tree, but it took up a 30-inch root ball. I'm going to see if I can find a larger one to show you. This tree came down into my garden. It crushed my blueberries that I just walked over the top of since they're already crushed, and it fell to the ground. Now, why is this a problem? It's a problem in that the top of it fell out. I did a video on a freshly cut tree where I showed that the interior was rotted. If you look here, see if that thing will focus for us. Let me shoot it from another angle. Hopefully you can see how decayed that is. The interior of it, the rings are almost indiscernible, but the rot, the mold, the gray mold is very discernible at 3 o'clock on the right hand side. And this is the top of the tree. Now the tree does have green needles, you can see that. I had intended to cut this thing and I was going to pull it over to the side. A tree is already down. Let me see if I can zoom in on that little baby. This tree is already down and it's already knocked my fence down. I was in the process of thinning these. These are trees that died during a drought. Let me focus on this. This is a tree right here. See how it's broken off? This is a tree that broke between rain and other issues. It's been a real pain to get stuff done. But this tree broke. Now, let's take a look at something. I am standing right here. The top of the tree extends out here to where I'm at. And let's look up right there. Do you see them? Those are power lines. Yesterday we had winds that were running 45, 50 miles an hour, and this tree came down in this. Previously I had said that when a tree falls, there's a lot of determining factors. Like, for example, if the roots have rotted off, which I'm thinking these did because of the break. We're going to go look at that in a second. The lean of the tree, the wind, all kinds of factors influence a tree. I hope that I'm getting through to people who think they can just go cut a tree and they'll be safe. Cutting trees can be dangerous. There is a reason why they call them widow makers. Let's go look at the root ball and then I'll close this one down. We move over to see if we can find that root ball all messed up. We have just some plain old sponge mushrooms down here. They mean nothing, but there is a particular mushroom. I can't pronounce the name. It looks something like Amarillo. It's a hard body mushroom, and when you see those, the roots are rotted off. The tree that I'm looking at right here, backing off, is pretty tall. I'm going to put a little notch in it and use the tractor to pull it down with a piece of chain. No big deal on that. That will keep it from falling on the rest of what's left of my garden after the tree fell. What you need to do is study root rot fungus and watch for that coming up. There was some out here recently. I'm not really finding any right now, which is neither are good. Oh, here's one right here. Has a particular shape. Can you see that? These things can get very large. The biggest I've ever seen it was about 17 inches from one side to the other, maybe 10 inches across like this. But this is one of them right here. Root rot fungus. If you live in an area with trees, learn the dangers associated with trees. Normally, when trees will be diseased, they just kind of die. If a tree is being killed off by a root rot fungus, the tree, or a herbicide, the tree dies from the root tips back. Correction, from the tip of the limbs back. So, in the case of this one right here, I'm trying to move over here where I can see this little jewel. A lot of stickers, if you can see those. Those are dewberries. They're very common down here. If you look, there's just not a lot of roots on this thing. The pine tree has a substantial taproot as a rule, and I don't even see that. But this thing just fell, and whether the roots rotted off or something else, I don't know. The root ball back here is over 48 inches, the damage where it's all pulled up. The root ball sticking up is about 30 to 36 inches. The the right angle framing square that you see here is a 24 inch. So it gives you an idea how big that root ball is compared to the tree. Just functional that out.